Where's the shit gun?
We're back, everybody. Once again, we are Tankers Fantasy Football, hitting you up with another 12-team PPR mock draft. Once again, we're going 3 wide with the fun bags here. How we're doing this is, where are you going?
I'm going to go at the 2 spot here pretty early. Going to scoop me up one of them 3 sexy boy running backs real soon. And where you guys? We're going to try to spread it out for you. Go a little early and a little middle and some late action.
Soup's got 7. I'm holding down the 7 hole.
All right, and I'm taking the turn at the very end, hitting the 12 spot here.
So we got 2, we got 7, and we got the ass end at 12 to show you how to do a little turning. Party on, you know, we just did one of these like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but with all the, you know, there's been a lot of different running back values here. A lot of these rookie running backs have just shot up the boards.
Yeah, the rookie running backs especially have shot up, and even Marshawn Lynch, we've talked about getting him in the 4th, 5th round. By a lot of these mocks, it looks like that is not happening anymore. He's been consistently going somewhere in the 2nd round on a lot of these mocks.
Yeah, mid to late 2nd, a lot of these mocks. We've seen, when did you see Fournette go in your draft, in one of your draft mocks earlier?
10. In a 12-team PPR, he went 10 overall.
10 overall, my goodness. And when did you see? You said you saw something a little crazy, too.
I saw Beast Mode at 13.
Beast Mode at 13 overall.
And a Jai at 8, which was by far the most I've seen him up there.
I love me some Ajayi. These young running backs are just flying up the boards. Like, you could get Fournette in the mid to late 4th probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but that is not the score nowadays.
Yeah, you can see 10 to 12 running backs gone in the first 2 rounds, which is ridiculous.
Compared to like 2 or 3 years ago, there's like 6 or 7 running backs going in the first round. 2 or 3 years ago, it was like 2 or 3. And none usually till like pick 8 or 9. It was like 6 or 7 wide receivers before anybody even touched a running back there for a couple years.
All right, so here we are starting it off. Number 1 overall, David Johnson. So, you got your choice of the 2 other backs here.
I'm going to go Le'Veon Bell just because it is a PPR league. I mean, I love Ezekiel Elliott. Like we said in the last show, 7 games over 100 yards, 5.1 yards per carry, and rookie season only had under 80 yards once. But I'm just going to go with the pass catching, you know, all systems go Le'Veon Bell right now.
Yeah, he was on pace for, if he would have played 16 games, he would have been on pace for 100 balls caught. And as a running back, that in PPR, you literally can't pass that up. All right, 3rd off the board, Ezekiel. Really no surprises there.
It's chalk.
All right, Antonio Brown off the board at 4.
Also no surprises there.
Odell Beckham, then Julio Jones. I mean, those are obviously, I think, the next 3 guys, but I think at the 7 hole, I think you're still in a great position here.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go for a guy. I'm going to go for a target monster here. I'm going to go Mike Evans, Tampa Bay. Just his 3 years in the league, his target numbers increase every year, and I think it might happen again this year. And he might see 200 targets. That'd just be ridiculous.
I think DJX on the scene helps him too. Instead of hurt, people think it's going to take some targets away, but I think it's going to.
I think his targets are going to go down, but I think his production will not fall whatsoever. I think his production is still going to be there. He might not get, you know, the 150, 160, 180 targets or anything like that. But he's definitely going to get the rock, still going to get his yards, still his touchdowns. But again, bringing in Howard, bringing in DJX, but I love Mike Evans.
And one more year of maturation from Jameis Winston.
Well, yeah, I think Jameis Winston's going to absolutely blow it up this year and reach elite quarterback status.
All right, 8th on the clock.
All right,
Sean McCoy.
Got back-to-back running backs with McCoy and Melvin Gordon. Once again, if both those backs are healthy, those are top-end RB1s for you out there.
I think I would have taken an A.J. Green over either one of those guys, though. I think I would have scooped up some A.J. there at 8 or 9.
All right, A.J. off the board at 10, and I think that's a great value for A.J. I think people really forget how great of a season he was on before he got injured with the hamstring problem last year. This guy was looking like a career best year. And we got TY off the board at
Double
11. I think this is the first time I've ever seen TY in the first round on these mocks. So
this guy's falling in love with him out there. I mean, he usually goes early second, so it's not like a complete reach. So it's kind of like who you like more, and he likes TY.
All right,
Can't
so
blame him.
I'm up, and I know one of our last mocks I took Jordy, so I'm gonna try and mix it up. I'm gonna go with who I think is just gonna be a target machine. We got Michael Thomas here, a second year. He absolutely blew it up as a rookie. Now we got Cooks out of town. So really the only guy he's competing with is Snead on the outside and Ted Ginn. So I think this guy, if you thought he had a good year last year, could absolutely win you leagues out there.
I like him a lot.
All right, like I said, I really don't want to take Jordy just to see what it looks like. And I think I'm really going to try and get one of these top-end backs here before it runs too dry. I feel like there's about 6 or 7 truly elite backs in this draft.
Yeah, there will be no guaranteed RB1s when he comes back to you in the third and fourth.
Yeah, so I'm going to get Freeman here. He gets you PPR points. I know Coleman's kind of stepping on his toes there, but still, it's a high-flying offense, and he's going to go out there and get you 20 points about every week for you.
We got coming off now. We got Jordy. That's, chalk. We got DeMarco Murray, and then Ajayi, and the first quarterback off the board, and Aaron Rodgers.
That's pretty early for a quarterback.
That is pretty early. That guy must have just hated everybody available, but I think there was some pretty decent stock there still.
Aaron Rodgers will win you a couple of weeks. By
He will.
He will, but I don't ever take quarterback that early either.
Yeah, I always love to wait on quarterbacks. I think all three of us.
Yeah,
up
the thing
here
I
love
like about
waiting on 'em.
quarterback, it's like any given week, any quarterback that's in a decent offense can be the number one quarterback.
All right, Soup here. I took wide receiver first round, so this round I definitely need to lock up a running back because it'd be slim pickings when it came back to me in third. So I'm going Jordan Howard. How many, 700
yard games.
Seven.
Same
Many
as Ezekiel Elliott.
Impressive Bears. I mean, my goodness.
His catch numbers will definitely go up.
He does. Jordan Howard does these amazing 7+ games over 100 yards, and you hear whispers of the fucking Bears trying to think about taking Christian McCaffrey. What are we doing, Bears? The only good part about our team, you're trying to
He's running back.
the running back, and you're trying to draft another one with an early round pick. I mean, I guess that's not as bad as what we ended up doing, but still.
I definitely could see Jordan Howard regressing because of the Bears, but taking the gamble, I got to take.
Oh,
it.
totally sexy stuff.
It is scary being such a bad team, but they were awfully. They were a bad team last year, and like we said, still 7 100-yard games. And he's
just not a lot of touchdowns.
He's gonna
can't draft him expecting touchdowns.
Nah, because the Bears can't even. No way the Bears average 2 touchdowns a game. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
All right, it's getting close to me now. We've had Dez go off the board. We got Marshawn Lynch, like we said, creeping up in that middle second round. It just happened, followed by Fournette, which we just said the stock has been incredibly rising.
Both those guys skyrocketing, and I actually am in love with both of them. I was more in love with the Marshawn Lynch when you can get him in the 4th or 5th, but second round, it's hard to tell. I think he really will have a tremendous year. I think he's looking at easy 10 to 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, Amari.
I'm worried about Trent Richardson. Nightmares of Trent Richardson with Leonard Fournette.
Oh no, Leonard Fournette looks like a man out there. He's 30. You can't convince me he's not 30. Amari Cooper, which I don't really like, but late second, you can't hate on the guy for doing that. So I'm on the clock now. I'm going to go with the guy who I think has the most upside still on the board, and I'm going to scoop up some Brandon Cooks right here in the second to last pick of the second round.
I think he's another guy who can win you leagues flat out, him by himself on a week-to-week basis.
Feeling good about it. Any given week, Brandon Cooks can go out there and light up the skies for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I really think he can.
And now playing with, it's not like Breeze was a bad quarterback, but you're looking at possibly the GOAT out there now, so... Yeah, I expect a humongous season from him once again.
All right, the turn here, we got Gronk. Gronk is what he is. People still have pipe dreams about the Gronk, but
He plays, he's great.
Says he's feeling healthy out there,
yeah.
but it's for me.
3 back surgeries? Mike, how are you going to play 16 games after you've had 3 back surgeries? That's impossible.
I feel like tight end is kind of like a quarterback. It is tough for me to draft one in like the second or third round.
Kelsey's my number 1 tight end on the season.
He's the only elite tight end with no health issues and is a target machine out
Yeah,
there.
I give it to him.
And Todd Gurley, like we talked about, 0 100-yard games. I'm not
0 90-yard games.
So I am not a Todd Gurley fan whatsoever.
1 80-yard game.
All right, come back to you.
on it. I might do something gross. I mean, the 3rd round is such a dead zone, and you're either getting guys you don't really feel that good about, or
Stretching on
reaching on a guy. I'm gonna go Hopkins here and hope that somehow he turns it around. It can't be as bad as it was.
You hope so.
It could be.
Yeah, you say these things and then it just instantly gets worse. But I'm gonna go with it, riding strong into the night.
Doug Baldwin off the board, who I might have considered over him.
Yeah, it's just
I mean, he is Russell Wilson's boy out
he's
there.
just not the sex.
He's not flashy.
He's not flashy, but at the end of the year, he's getting it done.
Yeoman-like numbers out there, just chug-a-lugging, getting you 12, 15 points, just grinding out there for you. Every once in a while, he fucking loves you sexy.
All right, Tom Brady's off the board. Keenan Allen's off there. And Keenan Allen's been going.
See what happens in the 3rd round.
I haven't touched him in any mock draft.
Every single mock draft, I've still seen Keenan Allen going in the 3rd round.
See
And
what
for me,
happens.
that is scary. How many games has he played in the last 2 seasons?
Like, what, 5.5? Played like 30 snaps last year.
Yeah.
Good lord.
But I mean, he was. I think they're dream weaving on the 2015 season where he played, 7 games or whatever, and absolutely blew it up for those 7 games.
Gordon,
but I mean, the guy was on pace for like 130 catches in the middle of the season.
All right, another Chud Monkey and Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller's off. Who are you looking at here?
And I think the soup. We're gonna do something different. I never take tight end this early, but I don't like a lot of the running backs or receivers available for what I feel like I can get Travis Kelce for right now. If I can get 1,000 yards out of my tight end position, I love that.
I'm gonna take Kelce over my boy Pryor.
I was gonna say I'd probably take Pryor,
Especially
but I do love Kelce.
Macklin's out.
Solidifying a position at least.
Yeah.
He could, his targets are definitely going to increase.
I mean, every week that you have the best tight end in your matchup, whoever you're playing.
I mean, if somehow Kelce can get into the double-digit tight end range, he could just become sexy boy deluxe.
With that pick of tight end in the 3rd round, I really need a serviceable running back or a receiver to fall.
And back to Lamar Miller, they talked about admitting they used him too much last year, especially early on in the season. So I am really not a Lamar Miller fan, especially drafting a rookie running back to compete with him. I know he's not going to really impede on his starting role, but still he's going to get less touches. All right, we had a run of receivers. We had Jarvis Landry, Terrell Pryor, who I think is absolutely going to blow up this year. I think Terrell Pryor, if he plays 16 games, he's a top 7, top 8 wide receiver.
I am a Landry hater, but I heard some shit the other day. Landry is tied, him and Odell Beckham have the most receptions in their first 3 seasons,
But that's all he gets.
I know. I still hate him.
He has no touchdowns and no yards, but he'll get you
hear
catches.
these things and you're like, why is it not Love Me Sexy?
He's the new Derek Mason.
It's because he averages 10.5 yards a catch and he gets 4 touchdowns. That's why it's not Love Me Sexy.
All right. Allen Robinson, I think he is primed for a bounce back year. I don't know about it 2 years ago when we were talking 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns, but I think he will have a good bounce back year. Bortles been working on his mechanics.
It's not even on Robinson.
Yeah, it's all on Bortles.
I don't know. I did watch a video of him mid-season last year. I owned him, and he was kind of drifting on his routes a little bit. He wasn't breaking to the ball as much as he should have been, which, I mean, you can correct that. But
I think late 3rd, though, is a good value, who definitely has some high upside there. Another guy with high upside but a very low floor, Alshon Jeffrey, who's definitely going to be the new favorite there with Wentz going to Philadelphia.
I'm not in love with it, but I'm feeling
There
it.
was just a report the other day. They said he hasn't been making any wow plays over the summer.
Well,
Take it for what it's worth.
all right, so
Saving him for the season. That's what I'm taking it for.
back to me at the turn here. Like I said, a lot of mocks, I've been seeing Christian McCaffrey in the third, and he is not gone yet. So last pick in the third, I'm going to take him here, and I'm kind of dream weaving of them, hopefully 60 to 70 catches from him as a rookie. And I'm going to get another guy who I think is just going to be a target machine. Other than Kelsey, Tyreek Hill is like the only serious option in this Kansas City offense. They cut Macklin, who's now on his way to Baltimore. So I think Tyreek Hill is the clear-cut number one receiver here.
Oh yeah, they came out. Andy Reid came out and even said he's the number one guy. I mean, we were like 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were questioning if he was going to be on the field for every snap, even out there. But now it's chalk. He's out there.
If he sees double coverage, I don't know how he'll do.
Yeah, he's gonna have to adjust.
I mean, it does.
He's gonna
It's
have
more
to
the
adjust
volume. I'm drafting more of the volume and the explosion plays than just being consistent. I mean, this.
Definitely not a PPR guy, I don't think. Kind of a big boomer, kind of a big.
Yeah,
boom
he's
kind of
mostly
guy.
gonna get the volume of the big plays. That's it. How many big plays can he get? How many times can he get the ball in his hands? Even like gadget stuff and things like that.
Took him over D-Train even. Loving him.
All right, Isaiah Crowell off. I mean, that is pretty good value, the fourth round. I personally don't love Crowell. I think just because he's so stupid, I don't like him. But, I mean, how are you going to put pictures up of Koshkin in the throat slash?
Not a good move.
He's been going up my draft board.
Yeah, he is.
But
I'm not in love with him.
They've got
But,
to
I mean, he's kind of a guy, and in the draft spot he's in, you look at these other guys available: Spencer Ware and Carlos Hyde and C.J. Anderson. You're talking about give me the Crow.
The Crow, he only had like 4 or 5 less targets in the terms of PPR realms than a guy like Duke Johnson out there. And it got an improved offensive line. And the Browns are going to be a better team overall. So hopefully he'll be getting more carries and more looks out there. All right, the old trusty Drew Brees out there still slinging it. D-Train.
I think that's good value
That
on
is-
old D-Train. I mean, my goodness. I mean, he's not really flashy anymore, but
He's got the spectacular floor, though. He's going to get you minimum 10 to 15 a game.
There's no way he's not a very high wide receiver, too. I mean, very high. And this guy just got him, early to mid-4th. I think that's great value.
You got Ty Montgomery off the board.
And I'm a
I
feeler.
was kind of hoping he would slip to me there, but he's just been flying up boards,
Yeah.
too.
Yes, rightfully so. If he's going to be the main guy out there in a
Mhm.
high-power offense.
Very good offense.
Soup is on the clock. 4th round. So I took Kelsey in the 3rd, so I definitely need to establish my wide receiver 2 here, and I wanted this guy to fall when I took Kelsey, and I'm able to scoop up Devontae Adams in the 4th.
picks.
And I am high on him this year. I love him. Still young. He's getting better every year. And Randall Cobb is just...
I mean,
He's I don't know what has happened to
Yeah.
Randall Cobb.
I mean, Randall Cobb's got to stay healthy, but honestly, I think Devontae Adams hurts Jordy's stock. I feel like the older Jordy gets, I feel like the more Devontae Adams is kind of going to be...
he'll be
He's
the man
going to
in 2
be
or
Aaron
3
Rodgers'
years.
boy in a couple
Yeah.
of years.
He's on the ascent.
All right, a couple quick backs that I absolutely loathe. We're talking Spencer Ware, Carlos Hyde. Spencer Ware, I think,
There we go.
is going to have a serious race with Hunt into the season, as well as Hyde. I think Joe Williams is going to be right on his tail. Sammy Watkins,
Another very, I don't know, I hate that.
another boomer bust out there. And once again, it's the health issue with Sammy Watkins. C.J. Anderson.
C.J. Anderson, another guy I just talked about who I'd much rather take the Crow over all 3 of those running backs that were just taken. My pick, and I'm feeling like this guy that picks at 1 is already taking 2 running backs. He might sit on it. I know I need a second running back, but I might sit on it here because he's already got 2. I'm going to scoop up the real hero of Oakland and Michael Crabtree.
He's going full-blown 80s style.
80s style,
90s.
Jazzy Jeff hairdo with the gold change, and I'm feeling it.
I love Amari Cooper, but I can't deny what Crabtree does.
The real hero, two rounds later.
I am not a believer in Cooper whatsoever. I feel
Two
like
rounds later, and he consistently overperforms.
I mean, honestly, I feel like this is kind of similar situation to like Corey Davis and Matthews. I feel like people are going to be overdrafting Corey Davis when I think at the end of the year they're going to have identical numbers.
Whoa!
I do. I think Rashard. I think they're both going to be about 800 to 900 yards and about 6 to 7 touchdowns apiece.
I think Rashard Matthews will be a little bit more trustworthy for 12 points.
Especially, yeah, I feel like especially early on, I think Matthews will be the guy. All right.
He did let him go.
Wide receiver, like we were hoping.
Edelman and Brandon Marshall,
I do really love Edelman.
Brandon Marshall, I think, is dead.
It is pretty scary.
It is. I'm not in love with him at all. All right, I'm up here, and I got to draft some RB2, and I might as well take some upside. I'm in love with him, Joe Mixon here. Second pick of the 5th round. I mean, it's not really value, and it's not too much of a reach, but I'm just kind of, who's left out there? Tevin Coleman, I guess, that people are in love with that. Amir Abdullah, that's gross, not doing that.
I mean, Bullet Powell's kind of a sneaky pick, but it's tough to take Bullet Powell.
That is not sexy.
Everybody talks about him like he's young, and he's not.
He's not, but he does. But he's got a lot of shelf life still.
I don't know.
He's that 97 Buick Sabre with 80,000 miles. It's going to at least 170.
I just don't see a scenario how, what is he, 29?
I think he's 30.
I think he's 28.
Oh,
Either way,
illusions.
All of a sudden,
either way, it's his year
He's
over
been 28
Forte's.
for 5 years.
All right, double dip here on the tight ends. We had Jordan Rigo and Greg Olson. Tevin Coleman, who you were talking about, who you were kind of looking at there. Tevin Coleman, I think, is a very, very solid RB2 out there with some serious upsides.
I love him in fantasy this year.
Yeah, I think, if you draft him as your RB2, I think that's a tremendous play.
I'm even daring enough to take him as my RB1 on some teams if I'm loaded up with 3 top shelf wide receivers.
Yeah, if you're going with the no running back technique, I think Tevin Coleman's a guy to target. I think Ty Montgomery is a guy to target. All right, Matt Ryan off the board. So who are you looking here?
If you're going by ADPs, I'm gonna overpay for a guy here, but I feel like I wouldn't get him if I wait until the next round. So I'm gonna take Dalvin Cook, Minnesota, and so many of these rookie running backs are getting hyped this year, and this guy. He's not getting the same hype, and I don't understand why.
I think he's being overlooked. I think he was overlooked in the draft. I thought he was the second best running back in the draft behind Leonard Fournette.
I like Joe Mixon as well, but I think Joe Mixon has tougher competition than Dalvin Cook does.
Nah, I don't know. I feel like they paid, if they didn't go out and pay for Murray what they did, I would feel better about it. Because I think Jeremy Hill's on his way out and Gio's injured.
Dead.
They can get rid of. I believe it's like it's only like hits them for $1.2 million if they want to get rid of Murray next season.
But they still got to compete this year here.
Well, maybe they were worried about not getting a running back in the draft.
They did trade up to get him though, so they're going to use him. But yeah, I'm a huge Dalvin Cook fan. More of the keeper league. I'm absolutely in love with him. This year, I don't know. I feel a little better later, but I truly believe Dalvin Cook is going to be a future stud. All right, we had some guys out there. Martavis Bryant, huge upside if he can keep his head on him. Yep. Golden Tate, who really came on strong last year. I mean, this guy was getting, released out there in, the first 3-4 weeks of the season.
He was dead.
And then he just came out of nowhere and really, really was putting it in for you in the flex or even your wide receiver, too, out there.
Putting up steady when ready numbers.
Does Marvin Jones even get drafted anymore this year?
I mean, I don't know if he does.
I don't know. He's been going pretty late when he
disappeared.
All right, we had back-to-back running backs here. Amir Abdullah, who played, 2 games last year, I think he does have some upside, but me personally, he is off my draft board just for the health. I can't get on that.
I can't fall in love with Detroit Lion running backs. It just can't happen.
Not in the 5th round.
No.
And then,
I mean, I'm okay with the guy, but not in the 5th round.
all right, and then Balil Powell, who I was kind of talking about, this Balil Powell in the 5th round. I think this is the earliest I've seen him go.
I mean, Adrian Peterson be damned, but you got to take AP
I think
over Amir Abdullah.
even Mark Ingram. I mean, either one I think you have to take over.
Yeah, you have to.
So it's coming to me here. I got the turn. And really, I'm not in love with any of these running backs. So I feel like I'm going to get a guy who might be the only other guy behind A.J. Green that Andy Dalton really loves, and that's Tyler Eifert. When he's on the field, this guy is an absolute touchdown machine, and he was even getting catches last year, which like 2 seasons ago, a quarter of his catches were touchdowns for you. All right, coming back, I'm going to get a sneaky pick. This might be a little overpay, but he's not going to come back to me. And I'm going to get Jamison Crowder, first pick in the 6th. This is a guy who they're talking about who's going to be on the field in 2 wide receiver sets this year, opposite of our boy Terrell Pryor. I think he might have more catches than Pryor this year. I think he's going to be more the guy over the middle and might even find his way in the slots, but he'll be on the field every single snap this year, and I think he's going to be a tremendous value with some upside, especially as your 3rd wide receiver on your team.
Oh, we got a big running back run here. Yeah, Adrian Peterson. So I was just talking about, I take over Amir Abdullah. I mean, you just have to. That's ridiculous. Then we got a couple of bad picks and Doug Martin and Eddie Lacy, which I absolutely hate and wouldn't touch either of them. And then Garrett Blount was another guy, you're kind of worried about him, but
I'm not down on LeGarrette Blount at all. I feel like there's a report that they might even get him involved in the passing game this year, which the guy has less than 50 career receptions.
Less than 50 receptions on like a 7-year career.
He's had 3 or more catches, I think, in 2 career games. Like, he doesn't catch the ball.
They're not.
But there's reports that they want to get him involved.
Let's get involved there.
Either way, they're saying 170 carries. I feel like he's easily going to hit 200.
I think he has to get 250 to be a solid RB2 for you.
But if he's getting drafted as like the 25th running back. I think he's
Steven Davison, and if he's getting 170, it's going to be God. You hope he gets in the end zone. Otherwise, it's
this guy's seriously getting drafted as like the 20th to 25th running back. He's gonna return value at that draft position.
All right, you're up.
Who are you looking
Show him
at?
which running back to draft. Show him how.
Soup here is going for Buffalo Bills cast-off
Castaways.
New England Patriot Mike Gillislee.
Tom Hanks.
I mean, that backfield's crowded, but I love this guy is going up my draft boards at a fast rate.
Oh, I'm in love with
shooting
it.
up the boards. I think there's no way he's not at worst a top 15 back.
You can't take Garrett Blount, Eddie Lacy, or Doug Martin over Mike Gillislee.
His numbers on limited work in Buffalo last year. Nice.
10 touchdowns as a backup.
Like
Of course
5.7 yards a carry or some jargon.
Yeah, and of course you're not going to be on the field when your team already has LaShawn McCoy. And I mean, that's just, I feel like this is classic Patriot stuff.
Someone is
snipe a running back from the Bills, and he's going to be a stud.
Someone is going to have to get that grind and pound work with the Blunt gone, and they're going to be winning a whole lot of games.
I mean, if he's
and it's not going to be James White grinding it.
He wasn't catching balls. He only caught like 8 or 9 balls last year. But if he's going to be that first and second down back, if he fills the Garrett Blount shoes,
it's that root hog back.
I mean, we're talking about borderline RB1, solid RB2.
Solid.
That makes me feel better about my Dalvin Cook pick.
Oh, I would have taken Gillislee over Dalvin there, probably.
5th round, Gillislee?
I mean, 5th round Dalvin. 5th round.
all right. After the soup,
all right.
Fitzgerald.
All right, another old
Fitzgerald.
Dusty road.
Andrew Luck is off the board.
Never die.
And you know what? I'm really not feeling Andrew Luck. I feel like Andrew Luck might not be this great quarterback that everyone thinks he is.
No. He hasn't been for about 3 seasons.
I mean, he had off-season surgery that apparently was to heal something from 3 years ago. But if this guy can't win 9 games and win the division, I just really don't think Andrew Luck is that guy.
All right, we got Mark Ingram and then
the 280-pound receiver, Kelvin Benjamin.
He's huge. It's gonna be huge.
Who are you looking out there?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really in love with anybody available right now, so I might start dialing up some tight end action. Look what we got.
There's still some boys.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll scoop up some Jimmy Graham here, right here, late 6th round.
What do you like about him over Delaney?
Delaney, I mean, you know.
Who's Delaney Walker?
It's Delaney Walker. He's getting older. They brought in Corey Davis, so that's probably less targets for Delaney Walker. And I'm just not, I don't know. They were pretty close. I was kind of thinking about it, but I just think Jimmy might have the higher
Delaney Walker
ceiling.
is like the Larry Fitzgerald of tight ends.
He's a short little guy. He's grinding out there, like 6'2" tight end.
Yeah,
He's short.
he's fast.
He's in like
He's
a guy
short for
that's
tight end.
never.
He broke off like a 60-yarder last year. I had no idea he had that speed. All right, we got Willie Snead in the 6th round out there. What is happening?
See, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't in love with anybody. This guy's taking Willie Snead. You know what are you gonna do?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr off the
Derek
board.
Carr, that's deep.
All right, who you looking?
I'm gonna scoop. You know, this guy was getting drafted pretty highly last year. Kind of riddled with injuries. You know, kind of fell off. Maybe it was a big reason why Ty led the league in receiving yards. This guy wasn't around. I'm gonna take some Dante Moncrief.
Moncrief, if he's on the field,
man, knock it down.
if he's on the field, I think it is a serious
I'm
threat to
worried about
Ty's production.
I think if Dante Moncrief didn't catch those touchdowns last year, he'd be undrafted this year in fantasy
I don't
leagues.
know. I feel like Moncrief could be an all-around, very, very good wide receiver.
I saw it last year. I'm
I
not.
mean, he's my 4th wide receiver. I'm not. You know, he's
He's a good bye week play. I mean, they're gonna chuck it.
But
with
now
Luck,
he's
so-
the number 2 receiver on a team you were just criticizing for Andrew Luck.
Well, you know, I'm criticizing Luck now.
But
His
the
weapons.
Colts got to throw the football. That's what they have to.
Yeah.
They're not running Frank Gore 250 times a year.
Yeah, Frank Gore fell off the shelf. He only had 1 touchdown in his last 7 weeks.
Well, he's like 50.
Sometimes.
All right, Paul Perkins, who's getting no respect out there in the 7th round. I mean, it's
giant
hard to
running
get
back.
up on some giant bags.
Yeah,
The
they-
7th round's pretty good for him, though. It is going up.
It is decent.
All right,
He was going 9th or 10th round a couple weeks ago.
Theo Riddick sliding in there.
There's a guy I'll never touch.
The ceiling is just not high.
Then I feel like Manuel Sanders just went off. I feel like that's really good value, 7th round. I feel like Sanders and D-Train are kind of, again, like that Cooper and Crabtree situation where I feel like they're
It's
both
kinda.
going to have very similar points at
Maybe
the end
I
of the
should have
year.
drafted some Sanders.
I mean,
Dropping the ball out there.
I feel like he's got a higher ceiling.
Damn it.
Danny Woodhead, that's pretty early for
That's
the woo.
grossly. That's busted done. Wayne Woodhead.
I mean, I feel like Woodhead will produce the second half of the season once he's back,
No.
but
All right.
7th round is too steep for that.
Way too steep.
That is ridiculous.
Soup's on the clock, and we got 2 wide receivers at this point, 3 running backs, 1 tight end. I'm going to lock up another wide receiver. I'm going to go Stephon Diggs from the Vikings, and this wasn't a very sexy pick, and don't feel the greatest about it, but I mean,
Third wide receiver there.
they just the latest blurb was him saying week 4 he had a growing injury and never felt the same, so
Of course he did.
You know, I'm saying get you up on some Adam Thielen. I mean, he's not I feel like he's not nearly as flashy as the Diggs, but he's his favorite guy. He's Bradford's guy out there. And he's incredible value.
And Stephon Diggs keeps up this beat him up early weeks 3 through
Sell
4.
him.
You gotta sell high. It's a good sell high if he does
Sell
what
him
he's been
for
doing.
Adam Thielen.
That's right. God puts another 30, hangs another 30-pointer out there week 3. Time to sell.
All right, couple tight ends there. We have the Delaney Walker, who we were touching on a little bit. Martellus Bennett, who I feel like is a really, really good fit for this Green Bay offense. All right, Deshaun Jackson, opposite side of Mike Evans, I think is poised for a very good year.
I like Deshaun Jackson as a wide receiver 3.
I thought about him over Diggs, but I decided to go
I
Diggs,
like him
but
as a
yeah.
wide receiver. I don't know.
Couldn't
I-
decide between those two.
Like I said, Winston, I think, is going to hop into that elite quarterback realm this season, and I think Deshaun Jackson's going to be a big part of that. I'm loving on it.
All right, Ben Roethlisberger off the board. I was actually hoping he'd slide to me here. Roethlisberger's consistent going like 7th to 8th round, and I feel like that is tremendous value for a guy who could be a top 3 quarterback overall. If Antonio Brown's out there, if Martavius Bryant is playing football, if Le'Veon Bell is catching passes. So, it's a tough spot here. I'm really not loving on any of these guys whatsoever. And I feel like I can scoop up some wide receiver depth late. So I'm going to get two running backs here with some possible upside. I'm looking at Derrick Henry, who had what, 5 touchdowns in his last 6 games?
Yeah, he was turning it on. They were starting to give him the goal line looks there at the end of the season.
They're looking to split some carries 50-50 with DeMarco Murray, so I'll get on some of that. And I'm also going to go with Kareem Hunt, who I really think is going to push for an eventual starting job with Spencer Ware as early as, like, say, week 3 or 4.
A couple tight ends just go, and Hunter Henry, which I'm kind of down with some late round Hunter Henry. That's decent value there for him. Some Kyle Rudolph.
Hunter
Not
Henry
before
above.
Rudolph.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Hunter
I didn't
above
realize Rudolph was there when I didn't even realize he was still available until the guy picked him.
Rudolph was ranked 2nd tight end in PPR last year.
Yeah, I feel like Rudolph is tremendous value.
I take it all back. The Hunter Henry guy's a dipshit.
But Henry, I'm putting his value below Rudolph, and I feel like Henry's kind of the last tight end that you need to make sure that happens before the cliff goes.
Yeah, otherwise you're relying on guys like O.J. Howard and Zach Ertz and
Or even Evan.
O'Doyle Rules. And
But I
that's
do.
not good.
I know he's a rookie, but I really, really am high on Evan Ingram. I feel like he's going to be kind of like that hybrid of the tight end wide receiver
Might be able
guy.
to score you some Marcus Colston, rookie Marcus Colston out there with some Evan Ingram maybe.
All right, Cam Newton, it's his year. Every other year
he loves you sexy, and this is that year.
All right, Pierre Garcon, who is going to be that main guy in San Fran. I mean, I'm not in love with it just because the quarterback situation. But 8th round for a number 1 wide receiver. I mean, you could throw worse darts out there.
I don't think so.
All right, here, 8th round, I'm looking to go. Last time I did one of these with you guys, I waited way too long on quarterback, and I didn't want that to happen again this time. I'm going Kirk Cousins here.
Ooh, that might be a little stretch.
It was a toss-up between him or Jameis for me, but I'm going to take Kirk.
I mean, he does have Terrell Pryor there. He's got Crowder. Hopefully, Josh Doxson's healthy this year. He definitely has weapons, and they are not looking to run the football, so that is definitely some high upside there.
A couple of tight ends went. We got Zach Ertz and Jack Doyle, guys we were just mentioning that you just don't want to have to rely on a week-to-week basis.
But, you know, if you are going to let the ship sail, I honestly kind of like Jack Doyle. He really has no other competition there now, so... I mean, if you're totally letting, if you're just letting it...
He's a dad runner, though.
If you're letting it... if you're letting that position go, you might as well get some Jack
It
Doyle.
looks like he's going nowheres out there. All right, Randall Cobb, earlier we think is...
How far have they fallen?
I mean, my goodness, eighth round, you can't hate on a Packer offense, a guy that's looking on the field for the Packers.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not hating on it at
Pretty
all.
bad, though, man. He just doesn't do anything.
Doesn't
I don't understand it.
living and dying out there. Russell Wilson, another quarterback going. I mean, I'm a guy, I just wait till, like, the cliff. Like, I just stare at I just, like, load up a list of quarterbacks, and I just wait until right before it's just this side of gross. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to get your boy. That might get, that is capable of 2 touchdowns, 300 yards.
Boy, you going to take one here and going to slide it even further?
No, I'm not. I'm going to let it ride. I want to take, the hype train lives again, and maybe the 3rd year wide receiver thing can take place. I'm going to give me some Devontae Parker.
Hey, they're saying reports saying he's looking like the guy they thought he was. So I mean, 8th round, worth a shot out there.
Bench, like my bench player, like one of my top bench players. That's not so bad. Yeah, Frank Gore and Rob Kelly just went at the turn, and I don't really like either of that action.
No.
I'd rather wait on a Marlon Mack or a Perrine when it comes to either one of those dudes. So we were talking earlier. They gave him money. I know I need a third running back on my team. I'm not convinced they're just going to hand the reins over to Dalvin Cook like these guys are. I don't know if you are, but he is over there. I'm just going to scoop up Latavius Murray and, maybe that and get that 9th round
He
sexy.
might. He's probably going to get some early on goal line work. But other than that, I don't think he's going to be involved in the passing game at all.
Just like 2 years ago, he had like the least productive 300 carries in a season ever by a running back or something like that.
It was
I
like
remember
4
talking about
yards
that.
a carry.
Oh, I'm not in love with him by any means, but
All right.
the guys there, it's just...
Up to you. We just had a huge run. We got Jamal Charles, who might not even make a team. We got Matt Forte, who probably shouldn't be making a team. Perrine in the 9th round, who I am really liking out there. They're saying it's going to be a running back by committee, so fantasy-wise, I feel like I hate both Washington backs. But I feel like Perrine has more upside than Kelly. And then C.J. Prosise in the 9th round here, who definitely has some PPR upside, showed some flashes last year, but he's got to stay healthy out there. And he does have to compete with Cheeseburger Eddie as well as Rawls out there, so...
I'm on the clock. I'm going to go upside at wide receiver. I'm going to take rookie Corey Davis from the Titans.
Feeling it.
Oh,
His video is
I'm on
sick.
board with him this year.
His video is like the Des Bryant video that he put out at Oklahoma State.
I understand that he could very much underwhelm this year, but if he doesn't, I don't want to miss out on it.
That is
I want him
true.
on my teams.
Yeah.
If there's any rookie wide receiver that is absolutely going to blow it up, it's going to be Corey Davis.
Yeah, there's just some guys out there that I'm not sure about, but I just want to have a little bit of peace. Like I just gotta have him on at least one of my teams. I just gotta have a little bit of piece of it, just in case it gets crazy and I gotta be on board.
All right, Corey Coleman, who I feel like
Hurt again already this offseason.
he's got all the talent in the world, but 9th round, I don't feel bad about it.
Trell Pryor's out of town.
this guy's
I don't know. I just can't draft any Brown player that's not the Crow. Really, I just can't.
All right, Eric Decker, who is homeless.
He just got cut today.
We'll see what happens out there. If he goes to a contender, his
Probably
value
end up on the Bears.
Oh God, Bears! Fuck.
If he goes to a contender, his value could literally be a 2-round jump.
Eric.
You could be looking at 7th round Eric Decker. Come next
Victor
week
Cruz
here.
Bears. I'm gonna vomit.
All right, Jay Stu out there, Rashard Matthews. Ooh, that's actually, he's kind of gaining some steam in the 9th round. I think they're listening to me out there.
Baby.
Still an overpay.
Him and Corey Davis are hanging out right alongside each other in these.
All right,
drafts.
I'm gonna scoop up who I think is going to be a serious top 10 quarterback here, and that is Jameis Winston out there. He's got all the weapons in the world. They are not there to run the ball on Sundays, so they will be chucking it 50 times a game.
Chuck it football, Jameis Winston. The weapons are there. They drafted O.J. Howard. They brought in D.
I was looking at him in the 8th when I took Cousins.
Slid. I was happy that he slid that far.
All
right. I'm going to just basically go pure volume here.
Better hope Eric Decker don't come to them Bears.
I'm going to go with some Cameron Meredith. He did look pretty good last year. I know the quarterback situation is downright putrid, but he's literally the only other guy. Victor Cruz, you can't feel good about stealing any action from him. You can't feel good about Kevin White. So
No.
he's the only play.
Victor Cruz.
Bears. I woke up and I saw that and wrote a world I couldn't.
We got the all DL wide receiver.
All right.
We're going to rebuild, and that starts with Victor Cruz. Are you kidding me?
All right,
Kenneth Dixon, Jeremy Hill.
Soup's on the clock.
Who are you
I'm going strict upside rookie running back. San Francisco, Joe Williams. All the reports about Hyder is he's making his way towards the door.
He's
really
complete out of phase.
Nobody likes him.
I'm down.
Kyle Shanahan is the running back whisperer.
I was looking to get some Joe Williams on my next pick.
Freeman was a fourth-round pick.
Lynch, the GM.
Lynch didn't even have him on his board.
No, I thought he was pushing for it.
No, he didn't even have him on his board, and Shanahan
Taylor.
Was demanding him to take it. All right, John Brown, who I really like this year. I feel like this could be the year that John Brown gets back to his form he was a couple years ago.
I think the problem with that is Palmer. I think Palmer
is noodling out there.
I think the deep ball on Palmer is failing him.
All right, Mike Williams off. Philip Rivers,
who I think should be going undrafted at this point.
He is.
He's going to play. That injury's not going to hold him out.
He's kind of turning into maybe like
Laquan Treadwell.
Yeah. He's hitting a little Laquan Treadwell on us there.
All right, Philip Rivers, who is getting absolutely no respect every year. Philip Rivers, he's a solid guy that you can get late.
Oh, yeah.
So
I should have waited on quarterback in this draft. I would have been okay with it this time.
I'm going to sit on it because the guy at 1 has Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota already, so I'm going to sit on my quarterback. I'm going to take, Lacey went in the 6th. I'm going to take Thomas Rawls here in the late 10th, and I'm going to say Thomas Rawls is a better football player, and he's going to perform more for you out there.
I think Rawls is the best back of the 3. All right, so Mariota, Jordan Matthews. Mariota's off. So you can't wait any longer.
Can't wait any longer.
I feel like you got to get someone there. You're looking at Eli Manning or Prescott still.
I know different quarterback scoring in a lot of leagues, but the guy was 6th in our league, and I know we do a little favor for passing yards. So if your league's not hating on passing yards too much, Matthew Stafford. My goodness, at the beginning of the 11th, and I'm feeling good about old Jim Bob Cooter and Matthew Stafford combo. I didn't think Stafford would even be in the conversation of me being able to. I was going to have to fall back on Eli Manning that's about it. Eli Manning was like the only guy available after Stafford worth a damn.
Talking about no respect, Eli Manning is going ridiculously late, and I think he's going to be a top 12 QB1 play this year with all his weapons.
Brandon Marshall's going to help him in the red zone.
They got Marshall, they got Shepard, they got Ingram, they got Odell Beckham. It's going to be it's going to be practically 4 receiver sets.
Paul Perkins is your number 1 running back. That's gross. So they're throwing the football.
All right, Marvin Jones, Dak Prescott, a couple defenses.
Soup's up. Chances are these guys I'm drafting in these rounds aren't even going to play for me this season. So I'm just taking athletes. I'm taking sheer athletes, and I'm going to go O.J. Howard, tight end of the Buccaneers. Who knows? He'll probably suck, but if he doesn't, I got him in the 11th.
Yeah.
You gotta have a backup tight end.
Yeah, not hating on it whatsoever.
If any rookie tight end's going to do it for, I think it's him or Ingram. All right, Mike Wallace, who I think really had a hit to his stock. Not as much as Perriman, but I think he did take a big hit to stock with the Macklin signing. He's off. Andy Dalton's off. Adam Thielen, who I really, really like, especially for 11th round value. I think he truly is going to be like a bye-week flex play.
Yeoman-like numbers. He's going to be out there. He's kind of a PPR guy, too. He's just going to kind of grind you.
He had some huge game. He had one huge game last year, so he definitely has a high ceiling.
He's grinded out there.
Terrence West. All right, it's up to me here. I'm going to scoop up some Marlon Mack. I feel like Frank Gore, it's got to be almost time for old Dusty to hit the road.
Gotta be.
Never.
Oh, God.
Marlon Mack, they saying does have some Tevin Coleman in him. He's got some explosiveness to him.
Gore needs X amount of yards to become 4th all time this season. Forget how many.
And that's when he retires. And then another guy on the turn here. I'm going to get the guy I was just talking about, Jeremy Maclin. I don't see why he's not the best wide receiver in Baltimore. I know he had a bad year last year. But 2 seasons ago, he had, 10 touchdowns?
You got to take him. Beginning of the 12th round, number 1 receiver for, a football team whose offense has just been struggling. So they got to be looking for a way to make it happen. And Flacco's probably so happy. My goodness, they gave him
Finally got him
nothing.
something.
They gave him money and they gave him
I
death.
think they said that Baltimore passed second most in the league last year.
And to who?
I don't know, but they did.
Half of them went to dog shit running back.
Half of them went to the defense. All right, Cole Beasley's off. John Ross is off. Jamal Williams. Who are you looking out there?
Oh, I'm gonna.
Your boy from last year.
Yeah. I had this guy last year, and I'm still on board with him.
You still believe.
Tyrell Williams.
Believe.
I mean,
Yeah, why not?
I mean, injuries can happen. You look at Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
You look at Mike Williams.
He was serviceable last year.
Very serviceable. Eli Manning finally got
I'm telling you
taken off.
what, wait on an Eli Manning in that 12th round, and I'm in love with it.
It is a great, very sexy play.
Perriman's off.
Perriman and Doxson, too.
Two guys that have, I feel like, Josh Doxson did have kind of some momentum going up, but I feel like the report definitely hurts of Crowder being the second
Yeah, he
receiver.
becomes like the fourth target. You know, you got Pryor, you got Crowder, you got Jordan Reed. It's just not really worth it unless there's a couple injuries out there. Another defense in the Cardinals, and my pick. I'm gonna go to a guy, you know, hopefully Brandon Marshall, maybe the wheels fall off, but he was looking very good as a rookie in Sterling Shepard. I want to scoop him up here in the late 12th.
Yeah, he had a very productive rookie year, and he's about 3 rounds later, 3 to 4 rounds later than
Brandon
what he was
Marshall
last
just
year.
buried his stock, absolutely buried it.
And I really don't get that because I feel like Marshall's going to get the red zone targets, but I still feel like Sterling Shepard is going to be on the field an awful lot.
We got Kevin White, who I'm not convinced is an actual person.
Then we got James White, the double whites out there.
Double whiting it down, and I'm about to double giant it down. And I'm going to take the guy we were talking about earlier, might be your Marcus Colston of rookie year, listed as a tight end, but playing that slot receiver. I'm going to go Evan Ingram.
Could be huge.
Feeling good about it, actually.
Yeah, at the tight end position, I think there's some wide receiver upside.
You always have to temper expectations for rookie tight ends.
But you do have Jimmy Graham, so I feel like, and like with O.J. Howard, I feel like those two rookie tight ends, if there's going to be guys that do it, or Njoku, but I hate that quarterback situation, those are the guys that are going to produce as rookies, even though I do not like rookie tight ends.
Couple throwaway picks here. Duke Johnson and Deion Lewis.
Quincy
Not really in love with any of that.
Quincy and Nunwa, I mean, I know they're an awful team, but 13th round for the number 1 wide receiver on the Jets.
There's a lot of bad number 1 wide receivers this year. Meredith, Macklin, Quincy.
But, I mean, Quincy did look pretty
Who else
good
we
a
got?
couple weeks last year. So, 13th round, I actually kind of in love with that pick. Gio,
Pierre Garcon.
Gio, who can produce when he comes back, but that might be closer to mid-season.
Don't like that.
So who you loving on
I'm
here?
going boomer bust. I'm taking Alvin Kamara, running back, the Saints.
That's my boy
The Rook.
out there.
I mean,
that is my boy.
He's not going to see the field without an
Oh,
injury.
I believe it. I'm a believer in the
so
Kamara.
not without injury, but if somebody gets hurt, I'm down.
We got kicker. We got another.
Talking about bad wide receiver ones, Kenny Britt might be the number
he
1.
goes to Cleveland to die.
He's thriving there.
He might.
People go to Cleveland to die. Dwayne Bowe went there to die. Miles Austin.
How
went
much
there
did
to
they
die.
pay Dwayne Bowe a year? Like 10, like
it was like $5 million. He got
million a year?
paid like $150,000 a yard or something.
I mean, it was
Fucking gross.
all right.
God.
So come back to me. We had 2 Philadelphia guys. We had Wentz and Sproles. And I'll tell you what, Allen Hurns. We're talking 13th round. We're talking no respect for Allen Hurns. This guy, I mean, again, a lot of it's on Bortles, but I mean, Bortles was the quarterback when 2 years ago he had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns and was a borderline wide receiver 2. So I feel like 13th round, Bortles mechanics looking better. Fournette is going to take some pressure off, maybe get some more opportunities out there. So I'm going to go with some Allen Hurns on the upside. And I feel like we're talking 14th round. I mean, if I'm not in love with starting McCaffrey week 1, I'm going to scoop up Jacquez Rodgers because apparently he's going to be the guy for 3 weeks.
That's a starter.
So, whatever.
All right, we got some kickers, which is, whatever.
Zay Jones, who I really feel.
That's good.
I really like Zay Jones,
I'm feeling
especially in the 14th.
Soup's gonna go Will Fuller here, and I'm only making this pick just because I watched him torch the Bears last year, week 1.
Could have been a 30 point.
I mean, I've seen what he's capable of, so.
More kickers. All right, it's me.
Galore.
I'm gonna take some Rex Burkhead just because he's a Patriot player, and this is the end of the draft. Maybe Gillislee for some reason is underwhelming for this or that, and Rex Burkhead for some reason becomes your sexy boy. But
he's the 4th New England running back drafted. In my eyes, he's the 2nd best running back.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised.
I think it's Gillislee, and I think Rex Burkhead. I mean, Hugh Jackson's saying that Rex Burkhead was one of the best running backs, if not the best running back he ever coached. So I feel like he's a smart.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, he loved him.
Blow some more smoke up his ass.
I mean, who did he have though? He had Jeremy Hill and Giovanni Bernard and Crowell and Duke Johnson. So, I mean, Rex Burkhead, he's a smart player. He's gonna.
I believe he's better than most.
He's an intelligent player, so at least he'll be able to see the field in this New England offense.
And we got a defense, we got a kicker. Last pick for me, I'm gonna go with a guy. I'm gonna say to hell with C.J. Anderson. I'm gonna say to fuck with Jamal Charles. I'm going to take Devontae Booker here in the last round of this mock draft and just hope he kind of pans it out. And I know regular drafts probably go like 5 more rounds later. But here on the fantasy football calculator, when we run it all, we do 15 rounds for you. I mean, these videos are already long as shit, so what do you want?
We got Ebron off.
Lockett dropping about 8 rounds.
Yeah.
9 rounds even.
Bortles.
My boy Bortles out there making the comeback.
Sanu, baby.
All right, I'm throwing darts at this point. I'm taking Juju Smith-Schuster of the Steelers and hoping Martavis Bryant fucks up.
That's all it is. Hoping Martavis Bryant, love for the dope is strong.
I mean, who else they got? They got who's the slot receiver out there who he's got to beat out?
Eli Rogers.
Eli Rogers. That's the only guy he's got to beat out.
Eli Rogers is going undrafted, isn't he? I mean,
we got Gabriel. We got Ted Ginn, who I actually feel like Gabriel and Ted Ginn for 15th is pretty good. I feel like they both have some serious boom or bust upside. Carson Palmer talking about he's gone to the complete noodle arm.
Noodling.
Last pick in the draft because it's only 15 rounds. I'm picking up my boy, James Conner, the feel-good story of the NFL draft. He's going to see the field absolutely 0 times this year unless Le'Veon Bell goes down or gets suspended, which I'm feeling there's about a 30% chance. So, D'Angelo Williams is out of there, so he's obviously he's a clear-cut backup running back.
D'Angelo Williams figurine.
D'Angelo Williams might make him. So I might make a D'Angelo Williams figure. It's gonna be a total nonstop action wrestling. Total nonstop action needs to give me money for that. I haven't had somebody talk about them on a fucking podcast fucking years.
All right, so once again, there we go.
We get more views than total nonstop action.
Once again, we'll be hitting you up every couple weeks here, see where everyone's stocks are at. There's been quite a few changes, though, especially at the running back position.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I would have never considered Mike Gillislee, but...
Oh, he's been shooting up
I'm in love with Mike Gillislee. They've been talking about him for months now. I'm down with him. You know, a lot of these guys are shooting up, like we said earlier, in these young running backs or these coming out of retirement running backs, you know. They're shooting up boards.
They are.
If I redid it, I wouldn't take Kelsey in the 3rd.
Hey, I feel like taking a tight end or a quarterback early, it just locks you up.
Yeah.
All right, once again, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel below. Get on the Facebook, get on the Twitter, whatever you want to do. Thank you so much for watching.
I was going to talk about this at the beginning of the video. We had a request for a listener league And I know there's probably nobody watching here in the wee hours.
So we'll mention it next video.
We're
too.
talking about it. You know, if you want to comment below, you want to email us at tankersfantasyfootball@gmail.com. If we can get at least 12 people, we are looking to do a Tankers Listener League for some free Tankers merchandise.
All in. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. We will catch you next time.
Later.
Love it.
Check you later.
Later. You gonna hear that shit?